Good morning, everyone. So, welcome to the 12th session of Utkarsh. So, today we have with us a very distinguished speaker and trainer who, with the wealth of his expertise and passion for empowering individuals and organizations, brings a unique blend of knowledge as well as insight to every engagement, right? So, please join in welcoming me, Mr. Rakesh Godhwani, who is an author. He's a very renowned communication coaches of India, as well as he's an entrepreneur. So he's a founder and CEO of School of Meaningful Experiences, and he has worked with many corporates and also as a trainer with many institutes like IIMs and Ahmedabad University as well. So without taking much time, we'll start with the today's session. The topic for today's session is effective communication, right? Which is, used for all the roles that we have here in Emipro. So please join your hands with a big round of applause in welcoming Mr. Rakesh, and I would like to invite him here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much, Purvaji. Uh, I am so happy and so honored to be here. This is my first trip to Rajkot. I had some friends here, but I saw it for the first time. And when I got the call from Purvaji to come and talk to you, I just said, I'm coming, confirmed from my side. Honestly, nobody listens to me at home. So the main reason of saying yes is कि लोग मिल जाते हैं बात करने के लिए. So thank you for the opportunity, for the honor. And I'll also tell you a little bit about myself. I come from a city not far from here, Jodhpur, Rajasthan. That's where I was born. वहाँ पे करियर के नाम पे 3 चॉइसेस होती हैं. आप गेस कर लोगे चॉइस नंबर 1 कौन सी होगी? इंजीनियर. चॉइस नंबर 2 कौन सी होगी? मेडिकल. दिस इज फाइन. मैं थोड़ा बीच में घूमने भी जाऊंगा तो विल दैट वर्क? द माइक विल वर्क. सो इंजीनियरिंग और मेडिकल. आई टोल्ड माय मॉम कि मैं शेफ बनना चाहता हूँ. और मेरी माँ इतनी डिप्रेशन में चली गई कि 2 दिन तक खाना नहीं बना घर में. एंड देन शी माय पेरेंट्स आर डॉक्टर्स, नाइस लवली पीपल. मैं बहुत मजाक उड़ाता हूँ उनका, बट वेरी स्वीट पीपल. एंड दूर दूर से लोगों को बुलाया गया कि इसको थोड़ा सा समझाओ कि ही हैज टू डू समथिंग विद हिज लाइफ. सो आई मेड अ चॉइस कि चलो करियर मैनेजमेंट थोड़ा साइंस होगा. बट द फर्स्ट डिसीजन आई मेड वाज कि यार लेट्स एलिमिनेट जो मैं नहीं करना चाहता. सो कमिंग फ्रॉम अ फैमिली ऑफ डॉक्टर्स. डॉक्टर्स बड़े ही अजीब से लोग होते हैं. एनीबडी फैमिली डॉक्टर्स? योर फैमिली इज अ डॉक्टर? योर फैमिली इज योर सिस्टर इज अ डॉक्टर? सम ऑफ यू, ऑल ऑफ यू, द लकी वंस हु डोंट नो मच, एंड आई एम वन ऑफ द अनलकी वंस. उनके लिए एवरीबडी इज अ डिजीज. मतलब उसी से देखते हैं कि ये फोड़ा है, ये फुंसी है, ये डायबिटीज है, ये. मतलब इमेजिन you take my parents to a celebrity room, they look at this celebrity शाहिद कपूर, अरे तो disease आदमी. So very strange people. So I made my first decision कि ऐसा नहीं बना. Very boring people. So that is 50% problem gone. आर्ट्स एंड कुकिंग जो मैंने अभी आपको बताया, my mom said नहीं बनोगे तुम. तो कॉमर्स मेरे को समझ में नहीं आता. I'm good at math, but this whole spreadsheets, accounts, I understand, but my heart was not in that. So that left only one choice, which is mathematics. अब मैथ्स लोगे तो क्या करोगे इस देश में? So I had no choice कि चलो ठीक है, let's go engineering. So I wrote exam, Rajasthan engineering test, and I had only one ambition कि मैं घर से बाहर जाना चाहता हूँ. I want to go and live my life. You know, a 17-year-old के उस समय दूरदर्शन, टेलीविजन. So the dreams were also very similar कि बाइक होगी, ड्राइव करेंगे. कॉलेज में पढ़ेंगे, गर्लफ्रेंड होगी, दैट काइंड ऑफ स्टफ, मजे मारेंगे. So that was the only reason of going to engineering college. So I decided कि चलो let's now find out engineering college because I had to go out of Jodhpur and Jaipur. So one of my friends said कि यार there are these regional engineering colleges in every state. तो उस पे रिसर्च करो. उस समय रिसर्च के लिए कुछ नहीं होता था. You had to call people. So I called all my friends. Somebody said इलाहाबाद में अच्छा कॉलेज है. Somebody said त्रिचुरापल्ली तमिलनाडु में अच्छा कॉलेज है. And I found out this lovely college in Karnataka, and the reason I loved it was it was on a beach. It's the only college in India on a beach. So now you know my decision-making systems. So I decided कि पढ़ेंगे तो यहीं पढ़ेंगे. So somehow I got that seat. I went to Surathkal. It's called Surathkal, lovely little small town. The station is called Bangalore. From Jodhpur, I traveled to Bangalore, and I really saw India for the first time. And I really made friends from every state, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, and हर जगह गया मैं. My friends let me stay in their homes. Their moms treated me like their own son, खिलाया पिलाया. And yesterday also I experienced great hospitality like their own family member by Purva ji and her husband. I had lovely Kathiawadi food. And I got my first job in Wipro, not because I was a great student, but because there was a very interesting incident. So now you know that academically I wouldn't have done well because my way of thinking and academics are two different things, right? My way of thinking is beach पे जाएंगे. Academic requirement क्या होता है? पढ़ाई करो. There is no correlation between the two. So my overall grades were very poor and 62% थे मेरे पास, which is first division, very humiliating grade in computer science, and my rank in the class was 38th out of 44. So आप हंस क्यों रहे हो? I mean, you should be sorry, but you can laugh. That's all right. So that's okay. So I was not a great student. Wipro आई यार, and they were very disappointed in the interview. So interview हुआ. They asked me 5 questions, and I answered all 5 questions wrongly. The most horrible answer was they said that this motherboard के अंदर कितने पावर का वोल्टेज होगा. मैंने कहा सर 240. So the guy said, "Are you serious?" I said, हाँ सर 240 लिखा हुआ है वहां पे, वही तो प्लग कर रहा हूँ मैं. And he knew कि I was a terrible engineer. He asked me some C question, Java question, कुछ कुछ नहीं आता था मेरे को. And within 2 minute इंटरव्यू खत्म हो. Because क्या पूछेगा, कुछ आता ही नहीं है मेरे को. Then he said कि आपके पास कोई questions हैं? And I started to ask him questions after questions कि सर आप क्या करते हो विप्रो में? Tell me about your programming language. कौन सा client है? बाइक कौन सी है आपके पास? कहाँ कहाँ जाते हो? How is Bangalore as a city? Then he said कि मैं अमेरिका गया हूँ. Sir, tell me more about America. Which city? Is it true कि वहाँ पे लोग कपड़े नहीं पहन के ऐसे घूमते रहते हैं? Because that's what we see in movies. He said no. And so after some time the conversation was very hilarious and 15 minute तक conversation चला. And I said thank you very much and I came out of the room. In the evening I went to give the vote of thanks. I was a class rep. तो मेरे को close करना था interview. And I knew कि मेरे को job मिलने वाली है. So I went there and the recruiter was standing. I was at the back. मैं छुपा हुआ था because it's very humiliating कि वो नाम बुलाएंगे और मेरा नाम होगा नहीं. So it's very humiliating. So मैं पीछे छुपा हुआ था. तो he said, here are the 9 students we have recruited for Wipro this year. 1, 2, 3. 3 पे मेरा नाम. I was shocked. So I pinched myself. मेरे friends आए गले वले मिले मेरे से. And I was very confused कि यार 62% and Wipro because Wipro would always recruit the toppers 80% and all that. So I went to the recruiter कि सर आपने recruit क्यों किया मेरे को? Wipro ठीक तो है ना? So so he said नहीं नहीं I'll tell you क्यों recruit किया तेरे को राकेश. तू communication बहुत अच्छा करता है. And I said कि हाँ but उससे job कहाँ मिलती है सर? बोले नहीं राकेश यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. तुम स्टूडेंट्स का प्रॉब्लम ये है कि तुम लोग रट्टा मारते हो और वहां पे सिर्फ क्लाइंट से बात करनी पड़ती है, आपस में बात करनी पड़ती है, इंजीनियरिंग भी करनी पड़ती है. इंजीनियरिंग हम तेरे को 1 महीने में सिखा एंड दैट सेंटेंस ब्रोक माय हार्ट कि सर मैं 4 साल से यहाँ वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ अपनी लाइफ और आप 1 महीने में इंजीनियर बना दोगे। He said, हाँ वो बना बट तेरा जो कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स है दैट्स वेरी गुड कि वहां पे आके बात करो लोगों से मिलो यू डू दैट वेरी वेल सो दैट्स वेयर माय लाइफ चेंज किया आई आई थॉट कम्युनिकेशन इज जस्ट अबाउट टॉकिंग विथ ईच अदर एंड इट्स नॉट इट्स अ मैसिव लीडरशिप साइंस एंड फ्रॉम विप्रो माय करियर टुक ऑफ अगेन जस्ट बिकॉज मैं काम भी करता था और कम्युनिकेशन भी करता था और मुझे प्रमोशन इसलिए मिला कि कम्युनिकेशन वाज बेटर एंड आई स्टार्टेड टू सी जब मैं इंटेल गया इंटेल के बाद क्वालकॉम गया आई स्टार्टेड टू सी दिस कि इंटेल के अंदर एक मैं कैलिफोर्निया बहुत जाता था सो देयर वाज अ मीटिंग रूम इमेजिन अ मीटिंग रूम हाफ दिस साइज and we would go for meetings because we used to make these chipsets that do graphics अगर आप video game खेलते हो I understand that world really well so how do you convert those graphics and all that stuff and मेरा काम 2D graphics में था device drivers में so whenever there was a customer showstopper escalation सब meeting होती थी and I used to observe in that meeting that सबसे toughest question का answer हमेशा एक इंडियन के पास होता हमेशा लेट्स कॉल दिस इंडियन जस्ट माय कॉलीग का नाम है श्रीनिवास तो श्रीनिवास नाम रख देते हैं जब भी सारे रूम को टफेस्ट क्वेश्चन होगा सब लोग श्रीनिवास को देते हैं श्रीनिवास व्हाट शुड वी डू अब श्रीनिवास को इंजीनियरिंग बड़ी अच्छी आती है पर उसको बोलना ठीक से नहीं आता तो वो कुछ बोलेगा वो सिर्फ वो ही समझेगा एंड ही वुड स्पीक फॉर 3-4 minutes nobody would understand anything then there would be an American guy let's call him Greg ग्रेग क्या करता था श्रीनिवास का आंसर को स्मार्टली पैकेज करके बोलता था so what Srini is saying that if we do this and that and revisit this tomorrow I think we should be okay and Srini would be like and everybody would do that and guess who got promoted और श्रीनिवास मेरे पास आके होता था कि यार मेरे को प्रमोशन नहीं मिल रहा है मैं बोलता कि तू कम्युनिकेट क्यों नहीं करता कि नहीं मैं कम्युनिकेट करता हूँ ना so that's where the problem is we do communicate but somewhere we have kind of gotten lost in the ability to speak and communication. And speaking is a part of communication. So I started to go deeper. I started to teach this topic. फिर मैंने corporate छोड़ दिया because I wanted to dedicate my life. My mission is to help all my countrymen with the power of effective communication. It's very easy. अगर मैं बोल सकता हूँ तो कोई भी बोल सकता है. I used to stammer. I had serious confidence issues. I had massive clarity problems. But जैसे हम लोग मैथ साइंस कोडिंग पढ़ते हैं वैसे कम्युनिकेशन भी अगर आप प्रैक्टिस करो इट्स अ साइंटिफिक टॉपिक so what I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek into this topic then talk to you engage with you so my plan is that in the next about 30-35 minutes I'll give you the framework but feel free to engage with me talk to me ask questions and then we have another 30 minutes for Q&A and I really want you to ask me any question because I want you to not be afraid. The art of questioning, raising hand is confidence and communication. डर लगता है हम लोगों को but relax. I will not take it against you. It's a safe place. I will not make fun of you. I'll respect you. Is that okay? So here is my slide number 1 and this is where I'll stop out the screen. I'll now go to this mic. Thank you very much. Um, I've taken some of these people from here. Yesterday I spent some time here. Does everybody know all these names? Not all. Okay. I also didn't. So I checked with Kunal Bhai and Hiren Bhai. So this and this, there is something in common. ये नहीं चलेगा तो फिर मैं उधर ही करूँगा. Then I'll just stand there. I thought ये चल रहा है इसलिए I can revisit that. So what would you call this set of people? The word starts with the letter L. Is that okay? Everybody understands that? So they're all leaders, right? And let's start our discussion with that कि ये leaders कैसे बने, क्यों बने? And I think some of the words that I personally liked that you are also trying to envision and empower in your own life is that I think they were pursuing excellence, professionalism. आपके जो values हैं उसमें भी ये सब शब्द हैं. They're very adaptable. They have high integrity. Commitment बहुत ज़्यादा है. Never give up. That's a very important point. Think high and unity. So all these things will sprinkle as we go forward. Now, my focus of research has always been slightly different, and my focus is here on this slide. I want you to focus at the followers. कि वो क्यों बैठे हैं वहां पे. There must be some reason. Leadership पढ़ना is good, important, but it's a very individual subject. I always request my learners कि यार उन आदमियों और औरतों को देखो वो वहां क्यों बैठा है. And there must be a reason there. अगर हम उसको समझ लेंगे तो समझ में आ जाएगा कि लीडरशिप क्या है. And this is a very, very powerful concept which can be summarized in just one word. That I'll give you a hint. Fill in the blanks game खेलते हैं. Leaders dash followers. The word starts with I. Inspire. Very good, madam. Keep going. Not the right answer. Keep going. I. Influence. Who said influence? Very good. Give him applause. Influence. So we got our first right answer. That leaders influence followers. Now, influence का एक simple सा शब्द है which starts with C. What is that C word? Convince. Keep going, but not the right answer. Not every time leaders convince. कभी कभार वो गन दिखा के भी हाँ बुलवा देते. We are not convinced. Communicate तो होता ही है, but not the C word. It's a synonym of influence. Convey. Very good. वो भी है. सोचो सोचो. दिमाग को दौड़ाओ. C word. मेरी क्लास के बाद सबकी वोकैबुलरी अच्छी हो जाने वाली है. By the way, this style of talking मेरी बेटी बहुत करती है. Papa, I'm hungry. I'm looking for a dish that starts with M. I'm not giving it to you. Then my employees come कि sir आजकल inflation बहुत ज़्यादा है. Please increase our S. ये सब चीजें चल जाती. So C word. Come on, सोचो. Influence का synonym. Don't worry. It's not a. Any answer is not a bad answer. But start speaking. Tell yourself कि कुछ बोलते हैं. Conviction, communication, convey. कुछ और C words. Very simple word. Sorry. Courage. Who said courage? Not the right word, but good answer. Courage. Control. Keep going. Very good. One last, and then I'll give you the answer. Any C word? Control, courage, conversion of thoughts. That's influence. So almost there. आप बिल्कुल सही जा रहे हो. If you just take your mind a little bit forward, you'll crack the answer. Conversion of thoughts. That means I'm something with thoughts. The word starts with C. Influence का synonym. I'll give you the answer. Change. That's all there is to this subject. कि हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं एक दूसरे को चेंज कर रहे हैं. सर सैलरी दो नहीं. अब चेंज करो उसको. ट्राई. गुड लक. एंड बिटिया आएगी मैगी दो नहीं. सो देन देयर इज अ चेंज प्रोसेस. राइट. कस्टमर्स नहीं हम लोग नहीं करेंगे. चेंज देम. सो remember this is very simple but it connects with this equation. What does a leader do finally? He or she changes people. और चेंज करने के बहुत साइंटिफिक फ्रेमवर्क्स हैं. I'll give you a very simple framework today and then we'll build on it. So I talked about influence, change, and it comes down to this. It's very simple. सबसे पहली चीज है उसमें communication plays a very big role. क्योंकि चेंज हम कैसे करेंगे? या तो गन से करेंगे या शब्दों से करेंगे. We belong to a world of शब्द. I hope we don't end up in a world of guns. So we have the power of using our words. Words are not enough. Actions भी जरूरी. राइट, इसमें इंटीग्रिटी आती है, आपके वैल्यूज में भी। रिजल्ट्स, कि भाई काम होना चाहिए, कोई फायदा नहीं है लीडरशिप बात करने का, रिजल्ट्स आया कि नहीं हुआ, कस्टमर ने साइन किया कि नहीं किया, बैंक में पैसे आए कि नहीं आए, दैट्स इंपॉर्टेंट। और बिजनेस का एक ही उद्देश्य है, टू क्रिएट वैल्यू। ऑल ऑफ अस आर कनेक्टेड टू दैट। वैल्यू से घर चलता है, घर से जलसा होता है। आई लर्न दिस टर्म लास्ट नाइट। थैंक यू। Now, how do we do that? So I'll show you some videos and then we learn. So the next 30 minutes is nothing but simple three frameworks. So remember the simple concept, that first is the craft, the second is communicate, and the third is convey. And I'll show you something very simple, because जब तक आप देखोगे नहीं आपको concept समझ में नहीं आएंगे. So I'm going to show you a video which is a very famous advertisement. देखिएगा and then I'll this video kind of gives a very different perspective of communication. Watch this. What this organization really needs is a one-on-one approach. Easy to use. Generally by board markers. Actually, what this organization really needs is repositioning. That means that easy to use. Generally by board markers. What this organization desperately needs is change. Easy to use. यहाँ पे कम्युनिकेशन हुआ, पर क्या नहीं हुआ? चेंज नहीं हुआ. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Our objective in leadership and work is, and even professionalism is, काम होना चाहिए, बात करने से नहीं होगा. So this goes beyond languages. अंग्रेजी बोलने से कम्युनिकेशन नहीं. एंड ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर आप गुजराती बोलोगे दैट इज बैड कम्युनिकेशन. इट इज कम्युनिकेशन. ऐसा नहीं है कि हर समय शशि थरूर की तरह बोलना. देखे हैं शशि थरूर के वीडियोस आपने? वेरी eloquent, right? But that is very different. Not all of us need to be that. अरे हम में accent है, गुजराती accent है, तमिल accent है, बंगाली accent है. Don't worry about it. In fact, you should be who you are. The world appreciates it. We should never be ashamed of who we are. पर हमारे culture में थोड़ा सा problem. It comes from English being touted as the ultimate respect. In communication studies, it's not true. Worldwide, दुनिया के काफी लोग इंग्लिश नहीं बोलते. They are still leaders. उनकी एक्सेंट्स हैं, यूरोपियन कंट्रीज, अमेरिकन, ब्रिटिशर्स, चाइनीज, जापानीज, कोरियन, सबके पास एक्सेंट है. डोंट वरी. बट व्हाट यू नीड टू स्टार्ट लर्निंग इज दैट अच्छी इंग्लिश बोलना और अच्छे शब्द बोलने से काम नहीं होता. सो नाउ वी शुड अंडरस्टैंड दैट मैं चेंज कैसे करूं. एंड नाउ देयर आर सम साइंटिफिक फ्रेमवर्क्स व्हिच इज वेयर आई विल गिव यू. सो आई एम गोना शो यू द नेक्स्ट वीडियो. You can change people without communicating words also. And if you see this video, then I'll ask you what are those three conditions. So I'll give you a hint. The video I'm going to show you is I can change all of you if I create three conditions. So watch this video. It's a very famous social science experiment. देखा होगा आप लोगों ने, YouTube पे मिला होगा. I'll show it again. And there are three conditions which can change people. Very important. Now let's look at this video. So video comes up now. 66% more people than normal chose the stairs over the escalator. So they have all. So what are the three conditions? So if I create three conditions in my way of working, people change. But these three conditions sound very easy but requires effort. So condition number one starts with the letter E. Enjoy, keep going. Engagement, very good. Excitement, keep going. Easy, very nice, but not the answer. Sorry? Escalate, very good, keep going. Empower, keep going, very nice. Vocabulary बढ़िया हो रही है, very nice. हाँ? Energize, बहुत बढ़िया. Now, encourage, very good. All right. Enjoy, but let me ask you a question. The work we do and the 9-10 hours that we spend in every company, and it's not Emipro, it's everywhere. I've worked in Intel, Qualcomm, and Bangalore. I run School of Meaningful Experiences. I've taught more than 300 companies and about 60 colleges. Do we experience enjoyment throughout the day? What do we experience besides enjoyment? One other word that starts with B, boredom. Majority of the work is boring. It's normal, nothing to worry about. This is human condition. ऐसा नहीं कि अरे, no, it's everywhere in the world. There is not a single human being जो he wakes up and says, मैं आज classroom जाऊंगा, मैं आज काम करने जाऊँ. No one. But we wake up कि यार आज थोड़ा picture देखने चलते हैं. That is enjoyment, right? So our majority of our life is boring, but we still come to work. Why is that? There must be some reason. बताओ बताओ. I know why you're laughing. Come on. It's okay. I told you it's a safe space. Nobody's gonna kill you for this. I mean, at least till 11:30 nobody will kill you. After that, I don't know. मेरा काम 11:30 तक है. बताओ बताओ. I know why you're laughing. I know the answer. Money, very good. So I'll give you a hint. This E word connects to money. That because of this E word, I come to office. Not experience. अगर पैसा नहीं मिलेगा तो क्या होगा? डर. Who said डर? Somebody said डर. What is डर in English? What is fear, boredom, joy, the E word? Emotions. If I make you feel something, you'll change fast. The easiest emotion that brings a change is fear. मम्मी कैसे सिखाती है? प्यार से. एक लाफा पड़ता है, we learn, right? I mean, mummies are sweet people. There's a reason for that. Papa to very different, and societies, teachers terrorize children to learn, and the same foundations come in colleges, school, and the corporate world because revenue. A CEO's fear is revenue. So salary kaise दूंगा? Employment is salary. So remember, we are experiencing the same conditions in our life because they're designed for us. We don't know. Now you have to start thinking about it. And my job, and I'm sure your job is, let's stop fear. Let's also change that. So people like me now use inspiration, little bit of excitement, innovation. Innovation brings tremendous excitement. Boring bhi hota hai, lekin it's a different kind of boredom. So these are leadership studies. So remember, the first condition I encourage you to use in your communication, besides what you do, is make your audience feel something. And there are 5 basic emotions you must give them. Don't give them boredom. Don't give them confusion. उससे काम नहीं होता. उससे change गिर जाता है. But if these 5 emotions you add, change बढ़ जाता है. The first emotion is acknowledgement. किसी ने मेल भेजा आपको, आपने नहीं पढ़ा, पर उसको acknowledge कर दो कि boss saw your mail, will respond tomorrow. That emotion is very powerful. उसको पता पड़ता है कि आपने acknowledge तो कर दिया. मोस्टली उसकी प्रॉब्लम वहीं सॉल्व हो जाएगी. And this is the technique I learned because my boss used to do that. I used to send him a mail, he would not read. But he will send a mail, will revert. By the time he reverted, problem solved. But I used to feel nice, कि चलो at least he acknowledged. And he would do it genuinely because he was very busy. So first is, please acknowledge all your colleagues. Smile कर दो, किसी को nod कर दो कि यार आप मेरे सामने खड़े हो. And these are very powerful things. कल I found something. So पूर्वा जी took me to a tour and मैं कमरों में घुसा. जैसे ही घुसा सब लोग डर गए. Not because of me, I'm sure. So, but this is not acknowledgement. This is fear. And I understand. ये हर company होता है. Don't worry too much. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. She's a very nice person. काम हो रहा है. So acknowledgement. So first is please acknowledge. ठीक है. भले ही काम नहीं कर पाओ पर acknowledge कर दो लोग कि I heard you. मैंने आपका problem समझ लिया. Acknowledge करता हूँ. That is very powerful. Second, appreciate people. हमारे भारत देश में appreciation की तो मतलब सूखा है बिल्कुल. क्रिटिसिज्म, अरे आ जाओ भाई. मतलब वी फील फ्री क्या आपको फीडबैक देते हैं, क्रिटिसाइज करते हैं आपको, मतलब आप तो घर के ही आदमी हो. डोंट डू इट. आई थिंक प्लीज रिवर्स. फर्स्ट अप्रिशिएट देन गिव क्रिटिसिज्म. हम लोग बहुत फीडबैक देते हैं यार, मतलब जैसे फ्री में मिलता है ना कि आपको एक फीडबैक देना. अरे यार मैं पूछा क्या आपसे. डोंट डू दैट. दिस इज अ बिग प्रॉब्लम इन इंडिया बिकॉज वी फील कि यार माय इंटेंशन इज टू हेल्प यू इंप्रूव. नो. फर्स्ट कन्वे अप्रिसिएशन कि आपने क्या अच्छा किया. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज उससे क्या हो जाता है. क्रिटिसिज्म से ये नहीं होता है पर अप्रिसिएशन से ये हो जाता है. व्हाट इज दैट वर्ड. चेंज. चॉइस इज योर्स. पर झूठ में भी अप्रिसिएशन मत करना बिकॉज पीपल सी दैट. थर्ड इमोशन इज ग्रेटिफिकेशन. लोगों को हंसाओ, कुछ दो. फोर्थ इज प्राइड. गिव पीपल अ सेंस ऑफ प्राइड. एंड द लास्ट इज इंस्पिरेशन. आर यू विथ मी सो फार. So we've covered the first condition, E for emotion. मैं थोड़ा slow चल रहा हूँ, but is it okay? And keep talking to me as you have questions. So emotions, make your communication a lot more emotional. Even emails. Emails are very important, पर उसमें अगर emotion बड़ा frustration वाला होगा, काम नहीं होगा. Second condition जहाँ पे change होते हैं लोग, this video starts with the letter L. Escalator, stairs. Public change आती है. Not lazy. Learning, not learning. Come on, think L words. This is a world you live in. It's very common to you. Programming, testing, business. Sorry, not language, but good answers. Sorry, level, not level. L, numbers, rules, policies, logic. Very good. That's the answer. If you give good logic to people, they change. Because उनको समझ में आता है. अगर किसी को बताओ क्यों करना है, वो शायद कर देगा. That is logic. And logic requires you to go deeper, कि थोड़ा सा scientific. So when you give escalator and stairs, public सोचती है escalator से time बचेगा, stairs से calorie burn होगी. Decision is mine. That's logic. And they decide for themselves. But please give better logic in your communication. That's missing in our corporate culture. And customers are saying कि क्यों करूं मैं? Logic दो. And logic should be examples, data, science, facts, stories. All right. So the first one which I told you was E for, L for. Third one starts with the letter T. इस वीडियो में दो लेडीज थी जो झिझक रही थी. One of them went up, the second one also went up. What is that condition that starts with T? That is, sorry, not time. Trust. Very good. Trust बढ़ाओ अपना. If the person is trustworthy, आपका customer मानेगा. Problem ये है कि trust नहीं है हम लोगों. And customer always doesn't mean external. It could be internal also. आपके relationships नहीं है लोगों के साथ. That is trust. And this is missing in not just corporate world, universities, worldwide. हम लोग आजकल Instagram पे बहुत time waste कर रहे हैं लोगों के साथ. Earlier it was better because there's nothing else to do. Talk karo. Kal raat mein khana khane ke baad I was walking and I saw this lovely sight. And this is the beauty of towns like Rajkot. बाहर कुछ लोग कुछ खेल रहे थे. I don't know what that game is. It had some stones and dice and चौकोर लूडो जैसा गेम था. Hopscotch, no, it was like they were sitting, not the jumping one. They were sitting and like a game. But this is collaboration and this is trust with each other. People enjoying themselves in the evening with a game. And my request to you is please build trust with each other. It's missing. आप लोगों का trust is very limited to your friends in the corporate. और आप friends कैसे बनाते हो? Mostly based on language and caste. And this is a problem worldwide. I think we should go beyond this. I think we should come together. We should all sit together. And that's what more are. So three conditions are E for emotion, L for logic, T for, are you with me so far? This is condition number one. Condition number two, अगर मेरे को किसी को change करना है, every human being has 4 challenges in their mind. Basic challenges. अगर आपने 4 challenges समझ लिए, you'll change them. And I'll demonstrate to you with an example. Let's say you have to go to a mall. You enter the mall. और सामने से एक इंसान आता है, बोलता है, सर मैडम ये नई कुकी है, खा लो और बताओ कैसी है. Your mind will create 4 challenges questions. Can you guess those 4 questions? First, second, third, fourth. Anyone? Go ahead. Don't be shy. Don't worry. No answer is a wrong answer. बोलिए बोलिए. Why? Why is the third question? The third question is almost there. Sorry? That is an advanced question. 4 के बाद वाला. Why only me may be an advanced question. Taste will be advanced. Somebody said something. Who is she? थोड़ा उसको बेटर करो. आप कौन सी भाषा बोलते हो? मराठी. मराठी में जब फोन आता है तो क्या बोलते हो आप? कौन बोलता है? उसको थोड़ा और गुजराती में ट्रांसलेट करो. हिंदी मूवी डायलॉग घटिया वाला बोलो. कौन है तू? So what's the first question? Who are you? तू होता कौन है मुझे बोलने वाला, right? So who are you is the first question. What's the second question? फोन वाला को उसको आगे लो. कौन है बे? First. What's the second question? क्या चाहिए तुझे? So what's the second question? What do you want? Third question जो आपने बोला, why को थोड़ा सा अच्छे बताओ. So let's say the person says, sir, cookie खा लो. First is कौन है तू? Second क्या चाहिए कि सर cookie खा लो. Third is you'll say why and you'll add the cookie question कि मैं क्यों खाऊं? Why would I agree? That is one. Fourth question is the easiest. आप सब लोग बोल दो. नहीं खा. I like that. नहीं खाऊंगी. Very nice. But not the question I was looking for. Fourth question. I know all of you will crack it. दिल में है पर बोल नहीं रहे हो. आप शर्मा रहे हो. हाँ बताओ बताओ सर. Free में. You're almost there. Almost there. हाँ हाँ. Advanced question. Not what's the cost, but she said something. Very good. मुझे क्या मिलेगा इससे? इन्होंने बोला था और आपने very nice. अच्छे friend हैं आपके. Very good. Performance management में इनको ही लेके जाना. But nice. Very good. See, fourth question is the easiest. मुझे क्या मिलेगा इससे? All human beings, भले ही वो आपका बॉस हो, चाहे कस्टमर हो, चाहे बीवी हो, चाहे बेटा हो या बेटी हो, सेम. Who are you to tell me this? क्यों करूं मैं? Right? Sorry, क्या चाहिए मुझे? क्यों करूं मैं? और क्या दोगे? So who are you? What do you want from me? Why would I agree with you? And what's it? अगर आपके कम्युनिकेशन में 4 क्वेश्चन का आंसर है, you will do well. Emails, presentations, conversations, and that's all there is. It's very simple. So are you with me on this second condition? Now I'm going to show you 6 videos and then we'll build together a framework of 6 steps of communication, which is there in my book. Please buy my book, 10 copies each, and please like, subscribe my channel also. So I'm going to show you video by video. Now, in every video, see the change. And before I go into that, any questions so far? No? Shall I move on? All right. So first video, देखना कि change कैसे होगा, and then we'll build together a framework. The first video is this. क्या हुआ यहाँ पे? How did this person change? हाँ. Changing the method. Keep going. Keep going. Curiosity, very good. Approach, something more. Mindset, reverse psychology, very good. You know all this. I'll give you a hint. You capture the A, attention. सबसे पहली चीज प्लीज रिमेंबर, किसी के पास टाइम नहीं है, कोई नहीं बैठा है आपके लिए. सबके दिमाग में कुछ कुछ चल रहा है. कोई खिचड़ी सोच रहा होगा, कोई बिल सोच रहा होगा, कोई व्हाट्सएप में एक्स्ट्रा मैरिटल अफेयर सोच रहा होगा, व्हाटएवर. ह्यूमन बीइंग्स आर ह्यूमन. सबका प्रॉब्लम इज वेरी कॉमन. राइट? किसी के घर में कोई बीमारी होगी, किसी के बच्चा बीमार होगा, सो देयर माइंड इज समवेयर. योर जॉब इज टू फर्स्ट डू समथिंग टू कैप्चर देयर अटेंशन, वरना वो नहीं सुनेगा. So remember, capturing attention is a very simple technique that you need to start doing. It's like अगर आपके कस्टमर या ऑडियंस का दिमाग इज लाइक अ बॉक्स, उस बॉक्स को खोलने के लिए पहले चाबी डाल. जस्ट डोंट पुट द कम्युनिकेशन. वो कम्युनिकेशन बॉक्स पे आएगा, अटैक करेगा, बॉक्स खुलेगा नहीं, एंड द कम्युनिकेशन इज वेस्टेड. पहले बॉक्स को खोलो, एंड दैट इज अटेंशन. हम लोग नहीं करते. हम लोग बस प्रेजेंटेशन बोलना शुरू कर देते हैं. वी डोंट रियलाइज वो सुन ही नहीं रहा है. ईमेल्स में भी मिसिंग, because attention is a deficit, and because of Instagram, WhatsApp, our attention is somewhere else. We are very busy people, and you need to also realize that my first job when I communicate is capture the attention of my audience. All right, now let's look at the second one. Second one is a Spanish video. Usme subtitles hain. Watch this, read the subtitles, and then we'll go to the second step. If I have to change people, how do I create communication? The subtitles are below. What happened here? Think, think, think. What did he do? Yes, very good. Good answer. He changes perception, perspective, something more. I'm looking for a word that starts with E. He gave an example, but the example had two very important qualities. It was simple to understand, and it was very V. What is that V word? V. The example was simple and V. What is V word? Think. Sorry? Valuable. Keep going. Visible. Visual, right? So when you show something to people, वो बदल जाता है. And that's where the ability to make your words see something is storytelling. And storytelling is very simple. We Indians love it. We should use little bit more in our day-to-day work. It doesn't mean we say once upon a time a king and queen were going in a that doesn't that's not a story. A storytelling in business is slightly more different where your words create a visual. I was with the customer at 10 in the morning and he showed me the problem in the invoicing system. That is visual. समझ में आएगा. And that's very important for us to start working on. So make examples much more powerful in your communication. Are you with me? So we covered two. What was A? Second E. Now third one is a movie. I'll show you a scene from a movie called Avengers. How many of you have seen Avengers? Very good. Nothing much to see. Bunch of alpha males and females fighting to save the world. I don't know why world जब भी कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है वो न्यूयॉर्क में होती है. गॉडजिला भी वहीं आएगा, aliens भी वहीं आएंगे, तो कुछ न्यूयॉर्क में चल रहा है and these Captain America and these people are trying to save. So I'll show you a clip from Avengers. Good guys, good guys and girl, bad guys. What happened here? How did this captain change? Action, very good. Keep going. Sorry? Ordering. But he did order, but he didn't listen the first time. Second time he did. Yes, sir. Very good. And perform kiya. Very good. That means you demonstrate your skills, credibility. This is who I am. मैं कर सकता हूँ. And this is called I factor, जो बहुत missing है आजकल. Just because मैं एक engineer कहलाता हूँ, doesn't mean I'll do engineering. You have to show it. Just because I'm a tester or a salesperson doesn't mean I'll do my work. So this is called demonstrate your skills, ताकि results आए. And this is credibility or I factor. This is who I am. अगर मुझे communication पढ़ाना है, तो मुझे पहले communication सीखना पड़ेगा. And this is a big problem in education. Most of the teachers teach something, but they have never done it themselves. And the students don't like it. मेरे teachers ने website पढ़ाया मेरे को, खुद कभी नहीं बनाई website. So I would doubt their credibility. कि सर पहले आप करके दिखाओ, फिर I'll listen to you. And the same thing is in your life. कि बोलो मत, करो, and show it, and the world will change. Right? So I factor is your credibility, your competence, your skills, your ability to get work done. So we covered three: A for, E for, I for credibility. I factor or credibility. This is who I am. So this is the I factor. Now the next one is a very short video. Can you guess what this video will start with? AEI. Oh, very good. So watch this. It's a very short 30 seconds video. क्या हुआ यहाँ पे? I was watching all of you and your faces were, I mean, I wish I could capture it in slow motion. सबका ऐसा change होता है. This is one of my favorite videos, but this is communication, right? You all got it. And your expressions changed at the last. At the 15-second, you kind of knew क्या होगा. So that's where the excitement built up. And at the 27-second, you all got it. क्या हुआ यहाँ पे? What was missing? Direction, the objective. The objective was not clear. कि भाई fall, but fall where? And this is a very big problem in communication. Look forward to hearing from you. कब? Let's get together. कहाँ? And we don't realize the power of this, right? That let's get together at second floor at 11 p.m. That's or 11 a.m. That's a very good objective. Look forward to hearing from you before Monday morning 10 o'clock. So now there's an objective. But ये एक हमारे कल्चर में नहीं है. हम लोग थोड़ा सा घुमा फिरा के मैं चांद तारे ले आऊंगा, मैं ये कर दूंगा वो कर दूंगा. बट व्हाट डू वी वांट टू से? शादी कर यार. I mean, there was a movie. Remember that Amir Khan, Rani Mukherjee movie? I forget the name of that movie. Not Fana. That was Kajol. Who said Fana? That was Kajol and हाँ. गुलाम. Very good. मतलब पिक्चर देखते हो, काम नहीं करते हो तुम लोग. नहीं, पिक्चर देखा करो. It's very nice. Pictures are very good ways of coming. Gulam. There was this Aarti Kya Khandala is such a direct objective, right? No beating around the bush. Aarti Kya Khandala. So again, culture issue. I always request कि यार come to the point. क्या चाहिए तुमको? And थोड़ा बहुत ये we have that culture stuff कि घुमा फिरा के बोलते हैं हम लोग. But please communicate. The first thing you should say is मुझे ये चाहिए. The person listening is much more prepared to say yes and no. क्योंकि एक तो attention बहुत high होता है उस समय. The moment you start speaking 3-4 मिनट बाद attention गिर जाता है. वो सुनेगा ही नहीं. फिर क्या objective बोलेगे? So always tell the objective. In fact, the first line should be, I need this. This is why you should give it to me. एक बार पहले बोलो, बीच में ऑब्जेक्टिव बोलो, लास्ट में बोलो. जितना बोलोगे उतना लोग सुनेंगे. So O for objective. The last two and then we'll come and take your questions is I'll show you a scene from a movie called Swades. Have you seen this movie, Swades? How many of you have seen the movie Swades? A majority of them. Those who have not seen, homework for you, देखो, अच्छी picture है. It is the only movie where Shah Rukh Khan acted. It took me like 5-6 years to crack this joke. One of my dreams is to become a stand-up comedian, and so I this joke 2-3 बार मैंने यूज किया, समझ नहीं आया लोग, तो मैंने समझाया उनको, and still they didn't get it. So that's where I realized कि joke लिखना is also communication. So very nice movie, true story. There is a engineer, वो यूएस में नासा में काम करता था, उसकी दाई माँ महाराष्ट्र में कहीं थी. सो ही फाउंड हर आउट एंड सेड कि आपको मैं लेके चलता हूँ, मेरे साथ रहना, आपका भी सहारा मेरा भी सहारा. सो ही स्पेंड्स 2 वीक्स इन दैट विलेज, और उस विलेज में इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं. एंड देयर इज दिस लवली सीन फ्रॉम दैट विलेज. तो वो आता है, उसकी दाई माँ यशोदा माँ और कावेरी माँ, आई थिंक हर नेम इज, एंड आई नो हर, वो बैंगलोर में रहती है, आई नो हर पर्सनली. कावेरी माँ बोलती कि चल मोहन, तेरे को पंचों से मिलवा, I'll introduce you to the panchayat. So I'll show you that scene. By now you would realize कि मैं बहुत वेला आदमी हूँ, बहुत पिक्चरें देखता हूँ. But I'll tell you why I watch movies. It's a very good communication. What happened here? How did these people change? It's communication, but there's something specific. Connect. Keep going. I don't know how it started. Connect, communication, simplify, keep going. Huh? Sorry? Make them understand. But why did he speak about agriculture and farming? Relatable. Very good. One more reason. You could also talk about food and water, but agriculture. Because agriculture is the number one priority for them. So when you communicate in such a way that it connects with the number one priority of the other person, वो सुनेगा. वरना वो क्यों सुनेगा? This is the problem of parenting. What is the biggest problem of parenting? आप जो बोलोगे आपका बच्चा नहीं सुनना. And you need to understand that. The moment that's where grandparents are so cool, because they speak the language of the children और spoil करते हैं, and they have a great time कि यार तुमने हमको इतना परेशान किया, कुछ तो करें हम तुम्हारे लिए. So grandparents take like they're vindictive on parenting. But anyway, so the point is this is something very simple कि वो भाषा बोलो जो दूसरे को benefit करे. What is my number one focus? I want to make your professional life successful. उसमें मैं communication fit करूंगा. जो आपको चाहिए वहां पे मैं बात करूंगा ना, वरना क्या फायदा उसका. And this is called U factor. I factor, this is who I am. U factor is this is what I can do for you. This is what you want to achieve. And this is missing in communication. हम लोग क्या करते हैं अपने में ही, मैं ओडो ERP ये सब कर रहा हूँ, fine, but help connect with the person, speak their language, and it's very easy. It's just about empathy with the other person. It's also about a very powerful technique. आज हमारे लिए ज़्यादा time नहीं है, but I want to talk about it. Listening. सुनो उनकी बात, वो बताएंगे तुमको, और अगर तुमने सुना नहीं होगा, आप कनेक्ट नहीं कर पाओगे। और सुनने के लिए यू हैव टू रियली calm योर माइंड डाउन एंड यू हैव टू लिसन टू व्हाट दे आर सेइंग। बहुत खतरनाक स्किल होती है, बट it takes few hours to practice it. So U is U factor, which is benefits. I is I factor, which is credibility. And the last one, and then we'll piece it up together, is a very simple thing. It's a advertisement from Thailand, and I'll show it to you, and then we'll wrap it all up. Almost every adult who received a brochure stopped to think and threw away their cigarette. No adult, however, threw their brochure. क्या हुआ यहाँ पे? That's true. There's a message, but उससे पहले क्या हुआ? अगर कोई बच्चा आपके पास आके बोलता है, सर सुट्टा देना, how do you feel? So what emotions would you get? Huh? So give me some names. Realization comes later. Emotion क्या है? Guilt बाद में आता है. पहला emotion क्या है? बच्चा आता है, सर सुट्टा देना. Shock. The first emotion is shock. कि अरे कैसे बात कर रहे हो यार तुम, ऐसे ऐसे बात करते हैं? Who are your parents and all that stuff? So shock. Second emotion starts with A. बहुत common है. गुस्सा. कोई मार भी देगा. बदतमीज. Third emotion. Now mostly the guilt will come. अरे यार, I'm also smoking. Fourth emotion, kindness. एक रोलर कोस्टर आता है. पहले नेगेटिव इमोशंस आते हैं, फिर पॉजिटिव इमोशन. काइंडनेस. उसके बाद लव भी आ सकता है. यू सडनली फील केयरिंग फॉर दिस पुअर पर्सन, एंड दैट कुड क्रिएट अ चेंज. And love is a very powerful emotion, which I think we all should really be careful with. Love doesn't mean hugging each other. Please be aware of harassment. And it's not just with women, it can be with men also. So we have to be very, very careful of not touching, not doing what is the definition of love. Love is also about respect for each other. It's also about understanding ki, hey, you're doing a job. I respect what you're doing. It's about the attitude of coming together. And these are very strong emotions, but most of the time we are into anger, disgust, frustration. So if you bring it to positive emotions, which is what this is about, people do change. You can use inspiration to change people. You can also use a stick, but nowadays I think the stick will have very finite result. Inspiration will have infinite result. Right? And then that's what is there in your values, that if you want excellence, results will always show if you do the right things. And that's what is inspirational. So let me summarize the entire thing and then I'll take your questions. What were the three conditions I spoke about to bring change in communication? Emotion, logic. Very good, brilliant. I think you remembered all that. It shows you were attentive. What are the four questions audience asks? Who are you? What do you want from me? Why would I give it to you? And fourth, right? And what are the 6 steps to make a communication framework message? A for, E for, I for, I factor credibility. O for objective. U for benefits. U factor benefits. And XE for X is extra. The last T is for emotion. That this is what we kind of covered: craft, communicate, and convey. And basically, I'll send these slides to you. Basically, that's all we have to start working on. That at the end of the day, we have to use these things to get our work done. And the final message I have is very simple: the more people like you and the more they agree with you, the more they judge. The more they dislike you and disagree with you, they'll never change. And then there is somewhere in between. So, how do we do that? Likability and agreeability is a factor of communication. Create a good message, understand your audiences, make the message with this framework, and deliver it very well. Delivery भी बहुत important है. अगर मैं वॉइस चेंज नहीं करूंगा, स्माइल नहीं करूंगा, एक्सप्रेशन नहीं दूंगा, इम्पैक्ट नहीं आएगा. दिस इज लाइक फूड. यू कैन गो टू अ लवली रेस्टोरेंट, बहुत अच्छी रेस्टोरेंट, बिल्कुल मास्टर शेफ कैटेगरी वाली रेस्टोरेंट, और 20 मिनट वेट करने के बाद आपने डिश जो मंगवाई, वाइट डिश, बड़ी सी राउंड, और उसमें ऑरेंज सॉस, रेड सॉस, एक धनिए का पत्ता. हाउ डू यू फील कि यार खाना किधर है? दिस इज great style, but where is the substance? Now, this is one kind of restaurant. We also know the other kind of restaurant, roadside dhabas. You go there, amazing paratha with cricket ball butter melting, पर थाली खराब है, आस पड़ोस का इलाका खराब है. Some people don't like it. So this is an example of great substance but poor what? Style. So you need to give both. स्टाइल भी अच्छा होना चाहिए, सब्सटेंस भी अच्छा, तब जाके इम्पैक्ट अच्छा होगा. एंड इट ऑल डिपेंड्स ऑन ऑडियंस. किसी ऑडियंस को वाइट प्लेट की कद्र नहीं है तो उसको कुछ और दो. सो यू हैव टू ऑलवेज थिंक लाइक दिस कि मेरे सामने एक इंसान बैठा है, व्हाट डू दे वांट. इट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम देयर. देन यू यूज दिस फ्रेमवर्क एंड देन यू डिलीवर इट विद द बेस्ट ऑफ योर एबिलिटी. और उसमें अगर आपका गुजराती एक्सेंट है, मराठी एक्सेंट है, आई एम यूजिंग हिंदी टुडे, डज दैट रिड्यूस एनी इम्पैक्ट? डज इट मेक यू फील कि नहीं ये तो अच्छा कम्युनिकेशन नहीं करता है? एंड आई कैन ऑल्सो स्पीक इन गुड इंग्लिश, ऐसा नहीं कि मैं नहीं बात कर सकता, बट आई ऑल्सो, माई वन ऑफ माई जॉब इज टू टेल एवरीवेयर इन इंडिया एंड से कि आप अपनी भाषा में भी अच्छा बोल सकते हो. Bring a sentence from Gujarati poetry, Marathi poetry, and fix it into your communication. And ERP is nothing but, in many ways, a way to bring the organization together. It connects to humanity, तो उसमें connect करो, but that requires lot of reading and writing and communication. Are you with me on this? Now, मेरा काम हो गया, या आपका काम शुरू. This is where I'd like you to ask me all kinds of questions. We have about good 10 minutes, 15 minutes more. And any question, and don't worry, I understand थोड़ा सा वो होता है झिझक, the first person always, toughest one, but don't worry about that. You have now interacted with me for a minute, hour and minute, 15 minutes. I like it when it's questions. So any questions that you have? Let's see who's the first brave heart. Yes, wow, amazing. Give him applause first. First. Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. So I heard the question. The question is, and I'll paraphrase the question, that how do we summarize? He's received a feedback that मैं बहुत लंबा लिखता हूँ, उसको कैसे छोटा करूँ? There are two parts to it. बैठिए बैठिए. First of all, हम लोग क्यों इतना लिखते हैं is also a issue. In fact, all of you, are you on your cell phones right now? Should be. You can look at my channel. मैंने कल ही एक वीडियो रिलीज किया on brevity. हर वेडनेसडे को मैं एक वीडियो लेता हूँ and the questions come from my audiences. तो मैं उनको लेके 10 मिनट का वीडियो करता हूँ. Please like, subscribe, share to my video. So that मैं भी इन्फ्लुएंसर बन जाऊँ और करोड़ों रुपए कमाऊँ. Now, हम लोग क्यों इतना लिखते हैं? There's a reason. And the reason comes from little bit of the past. रिमेंबर बचपन में एग्जाम में हाउ डिड वी गेट मार्क्स? एक्स्ट्रा शीट्स, जितना भरोगे उतना। नाउ दिस इज द मेंटालिटी, तो हमको उसमें मार मार के सिखाया गया। तो नाउ वी आर वर्किंग, बट समहाउ वी हैव स्टॉप्ड रियलाइजिंग कि वो एटीट्यूड चेंज करना पड़ेगा। सो जितना पावरफुल लिखोगे, कम लिखोगे, उतना अच्छा है। सो आई विल गिव यू सिंपल टेक्निक्स। ये मेरे साथ भी प्रॉब्लम है। अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, आप अगर लिखते हो, what you should do is, there's a simple rule कि how do I reduce it by 40% in the next trial. So मैं कभी भी फर्स्ट ड्राफ्ट नहीं भेजता, आई ऑलवेज राइट, फिर मैं चाय पीने जाता हूँ। इट्स अ प्रैक्टिस, मैं पिछले 20 साल से प्रैक्टिस कर रहा हूँ उसको। मैं लिखता हूँ एक ईमेल, आई नो दैट ईमेल इज फुल ऑफ इमोशंस, गंदे शब्द, बिकॉज इट्स लाइक वॉमिटिंग, सारा का सारा निकाल दो, राइट? तो मैं उसको पहले पूरा निकालता हूँ, बिकॉज इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर मी टू कन्वे एवरीथिंग टू मी। तो मैं वो करता हूँ, फिर मैं उठ के चाय पीने जाता हूँ। दैट गिव्स मी 5 minutes ऑफ कूल डाउन पीरियड। देन आई रिफ्लेक्ट कि यार ये सेंटेंस डज इट मेक सेंस। सो आई फोर्स माई सेल्फ कि अगर मैंने 100 लाइन लिखी है, 40 को मैं डिलीट करूँ। इट्स अ वेरी ब्रूटल प्रोसेस। तो मैं 10 मिनट, 15 मिनट, 100 लाइन्स टू 40 से मैं, मतलब अब 60 लाइन्स हो गई। 60 लाइन्स को मैं नेक्स्ट फेज में लेके जाता हूँ कि इसको मैं अब कैसे हाफ पे लेके आऊँ, 30। क्योंकि हम कहना सिर्फ 2 सेंटेंस चाहते हैं, पर उसको बोलने के लिए 25 लिख देते हैं। सो आई डू दैट। एंड देन समवेयर देयर इज अ फ्रेमवर्क कॉल्ड ओपनिंग, बॉडी, कंक्लूजन। तो ओपनिंग के अंदर आई राइट व्हाट डू आई वांट टू अचीव। बॉडी में पूरा 25 लाइन लिख देता हूँ। कंक्लूजन में व्हाट हैव आई सेड टू यू, दैट 1 लाइन। सो दिस प्रैक्टिस आई डू, एंड देन आई शो इट टू माय फ्रेंड्स एंड माय फैमिली कि ये पढ़, मेरे को बता कैसा है, इज द कंक्लूजन समरी गुड, डज इट कैप्चर एवरीथिंग? एंड समटाइम्स यू गेट वेरी गुड फीडबैक। सो कम्युनिकेशन इज अ कोलैबोरेटिव प्रोसेस, हम अकेले नहीं सीख सकते। तो फीडबैक इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। अगर आपको फीडबैक मिला है, आई रिक्वेस्ट यू कि आप लिखो और किसी को दिखाओ, एंड सी व्हाट दे आर सेइंग, एंड डोंट शो इट टू योर फ्रेंड्स। फ्रेंड्स डोंट गिव फीडबैक, फ्रेंड्स विल डू दिस, अच्छा है, दैट डजंट हेल्प। I think you should really go to a person who's known to read and can give you feedback, who's usually a very tough person to work with. So go to such people. My wife is a very critical reader and gives me amazing feedback. In fact, when I wrote my first book, I went to a very famous person, and he literally took my manuscript और red pen से उन्होंने ऐसे किया, and I was so heartbroken. But I'm glad he did that because it was a very bad book, and that's what we need to do. So collaborate. Do you blog? Do you write a journal? So blogging and writing a journal is very helpful. And when you read your notes, you will realize कि ये paragraph की ज़रूरत ही नहीं. And that's where the reflection comes in. So if you want to summarize and become powerful communicators, थोड़ा writing की practice डालिए. How many of you are active on LinkedIn? Active as in you post and write something on LinkedIn, not like, bro, what a great message. Interesting. I mean, the worst comment I've seen is interesting comment. अरे यार, what does it mean? And some of us, I think आजकल हम लोग थोड़ा सा copy paste करने लगते हैं. +1. Very, what is +1? And there is one comment, commenting for better reach. अरे यार, if I do LinkedIn का analysis, कुछ 8.5 billion per day commenting for better reach निकलेगा. और कहाँ से निकलेगा? इंडिया से ही निकलेगा. क्योंकि we copy paste the same stuff. So I would encourage you to post. By the way, I'm very active on LinkedIn. I write analysis of communication. So एक बार पढ़िए उसको. And sometimes there are criticism. So when you go through that, you'll become a better communicator. Does that make sense? Yes, very good. But come on, more questions. Yes, yes, awesome. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Yeah, yeah. So I'll do two things. One is I'll give you some recommendations right now. I'll also send a list of good books that I've collected. I have some. I discovered reading at the age of 19. So I was not a big reader. I went to college. कॉलेज में बहुत बोर हो रहा था एंड देयर वाज अ रीडिंग रूम, एक छुपा हुआ सा कोने में था, एंड आई डिडंट लाइक माय क्लासेस, the beach, it was too hot. So मैं late उठा, and the person who sweeps the said कि class नहीं गए, and I said नहीं गया. So he said जाओ एक चाबी लो, reading room में बैठ जाओ. Very nice human being. So I opened the keys, and there was this literally dusty room. The first section was glad rags and very visual magazines. तो मुझे बड़ा मजा आया for about 3 minutes. Then I got bored with them, and I walked inside, and I found 600 books. And I picked up Godfather and all of that. So Dale Carnegie's book is also a good book. It was written in 1937. It was the first book on communication that became very popular because Warren Buffett talked about it. Then there are various books. So depending on the genre I read. So I read a lot of history. I read little bit of fiction. Right now I'm reading 4 or 5 books. I always read 4 or 5 books at a time. And I never read popular books. I read books that connect with me. So what I do is I ask, what are the top books you read to my friends? And then I look at what I prefer. So I don't read too much of self-help business books because I've read many of them. Nowadays, I'm reading a lot of history because it's really growing on. So any topic that you like, then I can give you a book recommendation. History, right? Any particular global Indian? Okay, so there is a very good author called Peggy Mohan, and her book called Wanderers and something. If you go to Amazon, I'll just Google Peggy Mohan latest book, Wanderers and Kings and Wanderers. I think it's a story of how languages evolved, and that's a great book for you to read. So this is how you should read. That pick up a topic that you like. It could be food, it could be history, it could be warfare, it could be anything. But then pick up a small book. The second is don't read 100 pages a day. I read one paragraph and I sleep. Books make me go to sleep really nicely. So it's okay. Many of us have the problem. The third is have friends who are into books. And I must tell you, अगर आपको आगे बढ़ना है लाइफ में, this muscle needs nourishment. और वो nourishment सिर्फ किताबों से ही है, इंस्टाग्राम से नहीं. आई नो दोज रील्स वेरी एडिक्टिव, क्योंकि एक रील आती है, द नेक्स्ट रील लर्न्स कि ये रील देखा है इसने, राइट, एंड द नेक्स्ट रील इज आल्सो दैट. आई डोंट नो व्हाई मेरे फीड पे फूड वाले रील्स ज्यादा आते हैं एंड मूवीज वाले ज्यादा आते हैं. समटाइम्स आई एम ऑन द रील्स एंड फॉर अबाउट 30 minutes आई एम एनग्रॉस्ड. देन हेडेक भी होता है, टाइम भी वेस्ट होता है. So my suggestion is be a little bit careful. They are designed to suck you inside. The value add to your brain is zero because they are not retained. मुझे याद भी नहीं रहता क्या देखा. And books are exactly the opposite. The retention is about 90%. You become a better person. You'll connect that into your corporate communication, and your clients see the power in it. They'll see कि आप you're a well-read person, and they start respecting you. Did I answer your question? Wonderful. There was a hand there. Yes. Gone. Very good question. You've already started the first one by asking a question. So in every meeting, ask questions. That's how you practice communication. Next time, reduce the time that you spend to ask the question so that your practice becomes better. So push yourself as short as possible. Third is create a group in your company where you come and talk, not talk like you do in the lunch table. In the lunch table, there's only one discussion. Boss ko gali. There is no other discussion. And it's not in Emipro, everywhere, worldwide. If you have transmitters at the lunch tables, either घर का कुछ problem चल रहा होगा or गाली to the company and the boss की ये है वो है. This is normal because power structures we don't like. So every human being will do this. So have a group of people where you practice a topic. These are called communication clubs. We'll be happy to set up one for you. It's called Speak Club, and it's free. You please start your own stuff and enjoy it. We'll give you the material and our practice karo. The third is watch movies. This is how I learned communication. Not Avengers kind of movie. क्योंकि वहां देखने को कुछ भी नहीं है मतलब अरे खत्म हो गया what else do you watch, it's like so fast. So watch dramas and with subtitles. So one of my friends used to taught me कि Rakesh back, and we watched an amazing drama movie जिसमें subtitles थे. My vocabulary increased, my ability to speak became better in America, and that's how we learned how to communicate English. मैं हिंदी medium, and that's a self-learning process. And the last is use your cell phones, record yourself, show it to people. The more people start to follow you, create your own YouTube channel. पहले 15 दिन लोग बहुत हंसते हैं. That's okay. But then slowly somebody will put a comment and say, I liked it. That means you're getting better. You can do this better. That means they want you to do more. And that's your journey. And the last is write down something. So communication is like chandan. उसको थोड़ा सा भिगो के रखना पड़ता है वरना सूख जाता है. So the more you write, the more you communicate, the more you speak, the more you practice. That's the only way. One last suggestion, in Gujarat, Rajkot and places, there must be theatre groups. उनके साथ आप गुजराती में ही मराठी में ही जो भी आप भाषा बोलते हो, do a theatre. It connects with communication. So performance is directly connected to communication. Did I answer your question? Because sometimes our jobs don't have enough scope of communicating except emails. So this is how you can broaden. Excellent question. We'll take one last question and then we'll close. It's 11:30. One last question. Anyone? Yes. Yeah. So you don't have a problem, they do. I think you should appreciate people more. But I know India में ये होता है जब हम appreciate अरे नहीं नहीं sir हमने तो कुछ किया ही नहीं अरे यार. There was this very funny joke where somebody would keep saying कि अरे sir मैंने तो कुछ नहीं किया हम किस काबिल हैं, and somebody says कि congratulations आप बाप बन गए हो, and he says sir हम किस काबिल हैं. Very old joke actually. So so थोड़ा हमारा ट्रेनिंग आई थिंक वी कल्चरली डोंट लाइक बीइंग प्रेज्ड, और थोड़ा बहुत हमारा कल्चर भी बोलता है कि ज्यादा चने के झाड़ पे मत चढ़ो, राइट. सो वी टेक प्रेज नेगेटिव कि मैं एरोगेंट बन जाऊंगा, दैट्स द रीजन. बट यू डू योर जॉब इन प्रेजिंग पीपल. आई थिंक दैट्स अ गुड थिंग. यू शुड एनकरेज, कॉम्प्लीमेंट समवन. ग्रेट ईमेल, आई लाइक व्हाट यू सेड टुडे इन द मीटिंग. आपने ये जो किया मुझे अच्छा लगा. It creates that environment of appreciation. And all of you who are listening to her and she's appreciating you, I'll give you a suggestion. Listen to her. And there's a technique that you bend forward. Don't come too close to her. That is dangerous. Just bend forward slightly because it's a sign of listening. कि मैं सुन रहा हूँ आपको. And I've learned this because मेरे को किसी ने सिखाया. So you when somebody is giving you a feedback, you bend forward. It's like receiving feedback. Like मंदिर में प्रसाद मिलता है तो हम थोड़ा सा झुक जाते हैं. It is that. थोड़ा सा झुक जाओ, बोलने दो, then very gracefully say you are so generous, thank you so much. इतना अच्छा आपने praise किया मेरे को. So you acknowledge. Remember the 5 emotions I gave you. कोई आपको तारीफ कर रहा है, acknowledge तो कर दो. अरे नहीं हम किस काबिल हैं, नहीं नहीं मैंने किया है तो टीम एफर्ट था जी. Please avoid that. I think when we accept feedback, especially not feedback, when we accept praise, it's a sign of good communication. So 2 sentences, thank the person and paraphrase that you're so kind, आपने ये बोला मेरे लिए, and the other person will feel good. And you will now start to become comfortable with the positive feedback. Very good. I encourage you to do, all of you to do that. In one of my classes, I make everyone give a compliment to each other. It is such an uncomfortable class. बिकॉज द स्टूडेंट्स आर अनकंफर्टेबल गिविंग कॉम्प्लीमेंट. फिर वो लोग एक दूसरे की मजाक उड़ाते हैं. एंड देन वन बॉय सेड समथिंग टू अ गर्ल एंड एवरीबॉडी, आई एम लाइक क्या व्हाट क्या लगा क्या रखा है, आर यू प्रोफेशनल्स और आर यू किड्स. So I told them that don't do this. I mean, if a boy is saying something to a girl, doesn't mean वो शादी करेंगे, right? So get that right. So it's important for us to behave like professionals, become comfortable with gender. I come from a boys' medium. The first time I saw a girl in my college, मेरी तो हवा उड़ गई, अरे मर गए. And then my senior said, जाके बात करके आ. I'm like, sir, मैं मर जाऊंगा, ये नहीं करूंगा. So it's very difficult for boys and vice versa, right? और फिर हम लोग कल्चर से आते हैं जहाँ पे my papa mummy had taught me, वो तेरा भाई है, ये तेरी बहन है. So it took me a lot of time in college to understand कि आप भैया हो कि दीदी हो. So one girl said, मैं कुछ भी नहीं हूँ तेरी. And I'm like, huh? Doesn't make any sense, right? So we have to overcome these feelings, but this is called professionalism. Treat people equally. जो आपके सामने खड़ा है एक इंसान है, उसकी इज्जत करो. Don't go into gender, don't go into caste, don't go into language. Respect every individual. आप इंसान हो, आप में भगवान है, मैं इज्जत करता हूँ. And that is the foundation of good communication. In fact, हमारे culture में तो day to day सिखाते हैं. We have to revive it in our corporate work. It's not difficult. I have done it in School of Meaningful Experiences. I work with companies where we built the culture of respect and kindness. That doesn't mean that we don't give negative feedback and don't fight with each other. Because corporate में fight तो होगी. And that is called conflict management. That's very different. But feedback, appreciation, talking to each other, networking are very important signs. So do more. And if somebody is saying, नहीं, it's a team effort, you say, please listen to my feedback. दे रही हूँ free में, नहीं मिलेगा आपको बाद. And it's how you focus on that. All right. So I'll stop my session now. I know all of you are very busy, but I wanted to thank Hiren Bhai, Kunal Bhai. Where's Kunal Bhai, by the way? Oh, okay, he's somewhere. Uh, thank you for inviting me. I've not met the rest of you, but very nice to meet you. Thank you, Purva ji. It is all her efforts that I'm here, very nicely planned. And the kind of love and respect all of you have given me is absolutely very gratifying. So I'm very grateful to all of you. I came here because I'm very proud of you. I think companies like this is what we should nurture. This is the Bharat Nirman that I am dedicated to. So thank you for making the city wonderful. Thank you for hosting me. अगर आप बैंगलोर आए तो बताइएगा, ट्रैफिक से बच जाएं तो बताइएगा. एंड पानी वहाँ पे कम है, so I'm stealing this bottle. 1 करोड़ में बिकेगा ये कल. So I'll do that. So on that note, thank you very much.